Here's what you missed at Glaucoma 360. Hello and welcome. I'm Cary Powers, and I'm here at Glaucoma 360, New Horizons Forum in San Francisco, bringing you conversations with the leaders shaping what's next in glaucoma research, technology, and patient care. Today, I'm excited to welcome as our guest Dr. Cátia Gomes, Assistant Research Professor at Indiana University School of Medicine, and Dr. Cynthia Steel, newly appointed Chief Scientific Officer of the Glaucoma Research Foundation. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you, Cary.
Thank you.
Well, first, I have to start out with a huge congratulations to Dr. Gomes on being the 2026 Shaffer Grant Award winner.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. It was wonderful to be in the audience tonight when they announced that. We'd love to hear more about your research and how that could be shaping the future of glaucoma patient care.
Yeah, so in these Shaffer Awards, we wanted to establish and create a model using human stem cells. So we know that we have animal models that are really important tools that we have to study the degeneration that occurs in glaucoma patients. However, we also know that there are important differences between rodents and human cells. So we wanted to use human pluripotent stem cells, differentiate them into retinal ganglion cells, and study the mechanisms of degeneration. But we also know that aging is an important risk factor for the development and progression of glaucoma. So we wanted to introduce aging in our models because we know that stem cells are usually associated to a more immature stage. So we wanted to have a pharmacological approach where we can induce aging in these retinal ganglion cells differentiated from stem cells, from human stem cells, to create exactly a model in vitro that mimic what is happening in the patients. So we believe that using this system now, this human in vitro system, we can better study the mechanisms of degeneration and to use this system to test therapeutic approaches. So that's what we hope with this model.
Very good. That's very exciting research.
Can I add one thing?
Yes.
So Dr. Gomes actually didn't just win a Shaffer grant, but she was awarded the Shaffer Prize, which means that her grant was considered to be, or her project was considered to be, the top, the ultimate of the 10 Shaffer grants of that year. So she was considered to be the most translational, the most applicable to patients, the most impactful.
I love it. Congratulations for being the ultimate Shaffer Grant Award winner.
She's the shaperiest shaper.
I love it. Dr. Steel, your path with the Glaucoma Research Foundation started with a Shaffer Grant.
Sure did.
For innovative trabecular meshwork research and has now come full circle with your appointment as Chief Scientific Officer. So from your perspective, leading GRF's research portfolio, how are you prioritizing the most promising areas of discovery?
I think that's such a great question, Cary, because I think every area of research is going to obviously be the most important to the people researching it. You know, I will always say, I think trabecular meshwork research, intraocular pressure research is always going to be important. No matter how many eye drops we have, we still haven't solved the problem. That's going to be one of my particular research initiatives as the Chief Scientific Officer here. And then, of course, neuroprotection. I mean, we heard so many sessions at New Horizons about neuroprotection. That's still something that we're trying to solve as well. And so I think you actually need to prioritize both of those areas of research. And then we can't overlook any other outliers, something that might come out of left field that might surprise all of us. I would love to bring GRF a little bit more in touch with tech companies and use some of the algorithms, machine learning that's available to study how cells individually respond to treatments, and use this enormous amount of patient data that we have access to actually maybe help translate therapies into something that can really impact patients a lot faster.
So you're both benefactors of GRF funding of your research. So why are grants like the Shaffer Grant so important for early stage investigators, Dr. Gomes?
Yeah, I'm truly honored to be part of the GRF's mission, and I'm very grateful to be the recipient of this grant and the Shaffer Grant, and now the Shaffer Prize as well. It's really important for, I think, in particular for early career investigators. And it was really important and a really important step forward in my career. So the Shaffer Award helped me to grow as a scientist in several levels. So it helped me to manage my own project, like to coordinate all the tasks of my project, to be a PI, my own project. Of course, with the guidance of my postdoctoral mentor, Dr. Jason Meyer at IU School of Medicine. And it also gave me the opportunity to learn and to grow as a mentor, because I had the opportunity to work with trainees that were involved directly in the project. So I got the opportunity to work as a mentor for a very talented research fellow, Carson Prosser. So she's currently PhD student in the lab. And it also gave me the opportunity to expand my contacts, so work on the networking and meet other PIs in the field, which is so important for me to grow as a scientist. So I'm very, very grateful to be part of the GRF's mission, and I'm very grateful to have these opportunities.
Anything to add?
Yeah, what we're noticing actually is that the Shaffer grants really are a springboard or like a launch pad, because what we encourage in the grant itself is we want these to be pilot projects. We want these to be potentially high risk, high reward, 1-year projects. And so people are able to maybe come up with something that NIH doesn't necessarily want to fund yet because they haven't tried it yet. So they can take a few more risks. And when you do that, then we allow them to get that preliminary data that they really need to get to the next level of grant funding. And the cycle that I see happening a lot actually is they start with a 1-year grant from us, and then oftentimes they'll get maybe a 2-year grant from an organization like Bright Focus, for example. And so then they can build on that. And then they can get a large like R01 grant or something from the National Eye Institute. So these really are a launch pad for a lot of careers.
Very inspiring. Glaucoma 360, of course, is all about bringing together basic scientists, clinician innovators, industry partners, patient advocates to speed progress. How does this forum play a role in moving glaucoma treatments from the lab to the clinic? Dr. Steel?
Well, I love how you said that, Cary, because it really does encompass the whole 360 from bench to bedside and patients, and we bring in payers and we bring in the FDA. I mean, we have everybody here, and it's just wonderful. And I think what it does is it allows people to make connections that they would otherwise not be able to make. You know, there's really no other time when I'll just use you, Dr. Gomes, as an example, that she's in the room with the higher ups from Alcon and Glaukos and AbbVie, and as scientists, we're not in the room with those people. We might see a sales rep every so often. And so I think learning from them, actually having a chance to interact with them, watch them speak about what their companies are working on, you can get a good feel for what's currently available. And then you can use your scientific mind to think how you might be able to improve upon that. And then the patient perspective is so important, because that's another thing that unless you go to ophthalmology grand rounds, you don't get a chance to really see what it's like to be a patient and actually go through multiple surgeries and dozens of eye drops a day, for example, you know. And so I think that also provides a really critical point of view as you're trying to design new therapeutics.
Well, thank you both for taking time to speak with us today. Congratulations again on the Shaffer Prize, the ultimate Shaffer Prize.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your new role with GRF. We appreciate both of your work to advance glaucoma care.
Thank you, Cary.
Thank you. For more information on the Glaucoma Research Foundation's efforts to cure glaucoma, visit glaucoma.org.